Hey guys, welcome back. Just going freehand for a little bit. Still got the 200 sub giveaway going on. About to do this video is going to, of course, be more cards, more items actually for the PSA. And for those who haven't seen it, just of course our lovely little corner that we're trying to get organized. Actually, mostly organized. Needs organization. Needs organization. Somewhat organized, needs organization, and needs organization. And yeah, now there's stuff on the main work table that we eventually have to clear up, and we just haven't felt like it. But let your friends know that we have a 200 sub giveaway going on. We've mentioned it in quite a few videos. As soon as we hit 200 subs, one lucky person will win that stack of cards and stickers and signatures. Sorry, just trying to make sure I got this on here right. I've moved the tripod around a little bit. You'll see one of our other videos. We've did some shooting elsewhere. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and move into this PSA set of 20. I don't really think you can read the titles, but that's okay. Now, I know one of these items, if you've originally watched our quest for 100, this first item is from there. We had some issues, but now we figured it out. So if you don't know, you can send coins in to get graded. The coins that you use for flipping in sets. Now, this one in particular is worth a decent amount if you get it back in PSA 10 or 9. It's got some scratches on the hollow foil, but granted, the rest of the coin, that chip is supposed to be there because, like you can see, that's part of the indentry of the symbols. Now, there's not a lot going on in the back, and this is from the Sabrina's Yabaguki Theater, I believe, or Yabaguki City. I know I'm not saying that right. I used to be able to say the word really well, actually. But regardless, it's from Sabrina's original deck, the Japanese version. And you actually get this in the box with the cards. It's a pretty good little hollow foil. If there really wasn't much light, you would think it's just kind of like a black side as well. But it's got a decent amount of hollow foil, neat prism. This coin came out before they were doing prism pattern on cards, and I think maybe they eventually kept that hollow foil pattern in their system and said, hey, let's apply it to cards. We think this could get a 9 or 10. I've already written it down for this one, 9 through 10. I don't think that's whiting. I think that's just literally some dirt on it. Let's see if I can get it to come off. Yeah, that was just dirt on it. So there's really nothing wrong with this coin. Really hoping it'll get a 9 or a 10. Now, when it comes to coins and stuff, I don't really like the card savers over top loaders. I understand the science of them. The science of them is once you get something in there, it shouldn't really move around. I just don't like the fact that it has no rigidity. Rigidity? It's not rigid. It's not hard. It's soft like a penny sleeve. But I'm using it for the coin because the coin itself already has its own toughness to it. And I guess when we go ahead and send that in along with the set of cards, we'll show you how we do that to show the difference between the coin and the cards when you're sending stuff in. Next is a Neo Destiny Ampharos Japanese. Now, we are kind of mixed on saying this one in or not, and you'll see why in a second. We noticed it while we were getting it ready. There is a little nick up in the corner, so that's going to hurt it on its grading. Other than that, the hollow foil is fantastic, and I really wish that little issues like this weren't so, graded heavily against versus if something was wrong with the hollow foil. But the hollow foils, and it's in super great condition. It's a shame that the rest of the card isn't, in terms of the fact that little nick. Centering looks perfectly fine to me. And the nick doesn't even follow through to the back. It's just on the front. Man, it's really rough. If it wasn't for the nick, we would say definitely PSA 9 guaranteed up to 10. With the nick and with the PSA, we really just can't tell. I know it's not going to get a 10. 9 might be bold. Some of you might think 8 might be bold, but really that's the only issue with this card as far as we can see. It's a really good Ampharos card just in terms of its art and the way it looks. I think we're going, oh, I cannot get the camera to be how it used to be. We are going to put 8 through 9. Now, sadly, while we were getting this video ready, as you can see, there's a bunch of scratch out up top. As we were getting this video ready, one of the cards that we were going to grade, we noticed had some major issues that we didn't pick up earlier. Just one of the things that slipped by. Really sucks, just when we bought the card, we were under the understanding that it was near mint. Didn't notice it till now, which was pretty much months after we bought the card, that it just wasn't. So it's our loss. It'll be your gain, because we'll use it as a giveaway card eventually. That was a red. That was a fire and red and leaf green Magneton Hollow. But we went ahead and did a emergency swap out for now. Now, there's of course some scratches on this, but we've seen in the past where the PSA really doesn't really care so much about scratches on the hollow foil compared to as much as centering or an indent or whitening. We're not seeing any of that in the front, just some minor scratches and a card that's pretty much completely hollow foil. Now there is some whitening down here and whitening down there. Now it does hurt the grade, but we need to send something in, so we're sending this in. If it wasn't for the whitening on the back, I would have said 7 to 8. With the whitening on the back, we get a little bit lower. We're getting more towards the 6s, maybe even the 5s. It's not my favorite. We really, as you know, we really want to target for 8 and above when we send things in. That Magneton originally was going to get like an 8, and then we finally saw the damage on it. So we're going to say 6 to 7, really hoping for a 7. And that's more of a holder card in terms of the fact that that card, this double colors energy card, really won't be worth anything until much further down the road. As I'm opening this, as you know, there is the scalping situation is getting out of control for Pokemon. It's starting to make it to the news more so. Centering just a little bit off top and bottom. Everything else is fine. I'm trying to actually have a little video, or have it be a part of our video. Me and Vintage Pokemon Hunter Brothers, we're working on doing a video. It's really just scheduling conflicts is the main thing that prevents us for now. And I really kind of put this out there a while in a video that this scalping was going to get out of control and what to expect. Oh, some whiting, but nothing major. 7 to 8. I might hit it be higher. We'll say 7 to 9. We'll give it that 2-point gap, but the centering is pretty far off on the front. But you know, we'll say 7 to 9 and hope for the best. And so the scalping, of course, is getting out of control. And I actually just saw a video, someone posted a 30-second video of how people were waiting at the door of a Walmart in like a group of like 10 people, and they weren't together as buddies or anything. They were all there to each scalp the cards, and as soon as the door opened, they're all kind of pushing over each other, and they're all kind of breathing heavily hard on each other, and just kind of like falling over each other, and they're rushing right to the card section, and they just start immediately piling everything in they can into their, you know, go-kart, well, not like carts, but like their those carrying boxes, the carrying crates. They're like, oh wow, there's a lot of whitening on the back. So yeah, we're looking more at 4 to 5. We'll say 4 to 6. And so there's ways around it, but it's going to take multiple layers of effort to get rid of scalping. I don't really want to talk about it on this video so much as the ways of effort. I really want to say that as a part of the video that I'm going to do with Vintage Pokemon Hunter Brothers. And this is what I meant by items, so not everything's a card. So here's the Mankey stickers. These are Art Box series, and that's not damage to it. That's just the shine that they tried to put on the top of it. I'm pretty certain that's not damage to it. Actually, I gotta pull that off screen for a second. Yeah, I think that's just them trying to imitate that little shine that like a Pokeball is supposed to have in the top right corner if it's in the right light. The front looks decent. The back has some issues. Nothing too crazy though, and they don't grade too many of these, so I'm not quite certain what direction they'll go in. But you can have these graded, which is what I'm going to do. We did have a few of them as giveaways. At least they were giveaways as they were a part of bigger giveaways that we did. I'm really not certain what to put for the grade for this. We're going to guess 7 to 9. I'm not quite certain how much they're focused on the back, but that's what we're going to put, 7 to 9 for that Mankey Art Box sticker. Now some other Art Box items is these flips. Now this is the Premier series. Really, if you want ones that are worth grading, you want to get Series 1s over Premier Edition. But really, regardless, it was fun opening these. We opened these on the channel a while back, and we'll be sending some in. This will be some of them that we're sending in. Get these graded as well. Not quite certain if they're going to grade against centering in terms of this, because I believe that this is considered centered, because these were originally supposed to have like a thin at the bottom and a thick at the bottom. But we'll see. I don't know how they're going to grade against it. Also, in terms of like, you can see it's not really print lines. It's kind of just how the thing is made. It's not like it's issues, but you can see what I'm talking about. I'm really not certain how to describe it. The kind of like the improperly set things for a smooth hollow flip. But nevertheless, we'll send it in to get graded. I'll be part of the channel. I'll be part of the video. I'll be part of the fun. Hopefully get a good grade. Really, there's nothing wrong with it. So we're going to say 8 to 10. And again, if you're new to the channel, we do sometimes we do it. We don't really go beyond a 2-number gap in terms of our guess. But we do a 2-number gap because, you know, we're still learning the grades ourselves. We've sent stuff in. Now let's see something real quick. So this one has a much thicker bottom on the front compared to this one. So maybe this one will be more centered. So this one is more centered. But we'll still, you know, just to be safe, we'll change it to a 7 to 9. This one's looking a little bit better. This is a Eevee Flareon. I remember when they came out as a kid, they were definitely cool, but no one really jumped on them. I don't think I should be able to see through it. Is that a misprint or something? Because I can see through it. But then again, I do have a really powerful light above me. So yeah, I think it's just the really strong light. So I can even see through it on this side in the right light. This one's probably closer to that 8 to 10 than the previous one. So we'll go from there. Of course, these things weren't perfect. You can see it doesn't usually land on a perfect hollow like image. Usually you can still see some bleed of the other image that's on there. But that's fine. Now, I think they've made some new ones nowadays. Not specifically Pokemon, but they've used that material more up to date for certain items and for other things in life. And the image comes through a lot better. So this was just kind of an early run of testing out that printing process and material when these came out. So we got an Ekans Arbok. Looks like they have it backwards because the word Ekans comes up when the Arbok is visible, and Ekans comes up, and Arbok comes up when the Ekans is visible. Again, this is pretty solid centering. There is a nick on this one though in the top left. It really sucks. I think all these were pack pulls. Granted, they've probably been shuffled around for a long time till they got to us. We'll say 6 to 8 for this one. Again, just kind of maintaining that hopefulness and maintaining that, you know, no more than kind of 2 grades up or down from what we think. If you had to ask me honestly, anytime I do a 2 grade, it's me generally, my honest for grading things would be the one in the middle. So if I said 6 to 8, I would say that things should definitely get a 7. That's just me. An Un Pheasant. This one is an Emerging Powers Un Pheasant. This one's a little bit more known because it has this Pokemon League symbol right here. And then also it's got the X Hollow Scratch, reverse hollow foil going on. It's pretty cool, definitely a different way of doing it. Centering's a little off, but really nothing crazy. It's pretty solid. I'm not seeing really any scratches or dings or dents, which is really good. Flipping it over. The centering's a little bit more obvious now. So we're looking at a 9 so far. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I'm gonna say 9 to 10. I think that's pretty fair. I definitely think a 9 is a very honest assessment. And we're hoping for the up. We didn't see a reason for that to get an 8. Oh, and there goes my furnace kicking on, so here I go trying to talk over it. So this one was a little bit of a shame, if I'm remembering correctly. So there's some scratches on the hollow foil, kind of more than we'd want. Still gonna send it in. It is a Jungle Vileplume Hollow. Has some uplift here. Everything else on the card looks great, and I believe there's some whitening on the back or a chip. Yep, there's a chip. So it gets really hard when we have these sorts of dings. So we're really looking for the higher grade cards. And so I have a hard time figuring out the lower grade cards. So that's not a ding in, it looks like there's some sort of stain. Man, this is really difficult. I don't think it can get an 8. I think saying a 2 for would be a little much, but I've seen the PSA almost kind of just overlook damage to the hollow foil for some reason. I think a 6 is an honest guess. I think if I said 6 to 8, it'd be overly hopeful and it would make me look really dumb. I think honestly this could get a 6. Some of you are probably like, why still send it in? I think 1, it's good to try and confirm our numbers, and 2, really, you know, those older cards are going to get graded pretty much no matter what. It's kind of the direction they're going in. So we got Evolution Zapdos Reverse Hollow. Some of you are probably like, why is this card graded? Well, Evolutions had a pick me up, and I was planning on getting this graded before they even had that pick me up. You're like, but it's only like a $2 card raw, and I'm like, yeah, I got that. Some little stuff here and there. I'd say 8 to 9. But I think I just like Zapdos. Really like the original legendary birds of Pokemon, and I think it's worth getting cards that are in good condition graded, even if they aren't super rare or valuable. And you never know what will happen down the road. It's kind of the point. So we've got a promo Mew, some scratches on the hollow foil, some off corners, some off centering. Well, I guess all the corners are kind of rounded, so I guess it's not off if all the corners are the same. Everything else looks fine on the front. Some stains on the back. Some whitening on the corners. Nothing nuts. I am willing to do a 2 grade for this, so I will say 6 to 8. I will say 6 to 8 and see what happens. And again, the higher the grade, just the more just little thing can throw it off. See, now I'm seeing like there's more whitening on that corner all of a sudden. I'm gonna pull it back out just to see what's going on. Yeah, that's actually there. We just missed it. Weird. Okay. Now we're down more to the 5 to 7 realm. We're still just gonna send it. I mean, it's just an older card, and a lower grade hurts, but really in terms of people wanting that card, it's still just up there. Now we had a different Zapdos. I mean, we had this Zapdos, but instead of that promo, we were going to do another Zapdos. But sadly, there was a gigantic, like someone took a pin and pushed it through the top left corner and just put a small hole in it. So yeah, that'll be a giveaway card. But we've got a Hidden Fate Zapdos, so that's pretty cool. Hollow. Everything seems to be in order on the front. A little bit off top and bottom, but very minor. Looks pretty solid. I do see some super almost unnoticeable things, but I'm putting 9 to 10. I know you're kind of like what you just said, they're super minor things. There are, and it's just that I kind of notice them, and I know that I'd be kind of the only one who notices them, and so I have to be kind of like, I gotta take that away from me, because I just feel as though I'd be a really rough grader if I worked at the PSA myself. And look, there's nothing wrong with a company that grades hard, guys. When it becomes wrong, and I spoke about this in my other videos, is when that company is known for hard grades, but their grading is all over the place. So now there's some missing ink on the front. You can see it's silver up there. Scratches in the hollow foil, not big ones, but noticeable ones still. The centering's actually solid. It's just thick all around. Learning to see if there's any misprints. I'm not seeing any misprints. No real misprints, nothing like that. Minor stuff on the back. That's good. Stuff, but minor stuff on the back. We'll say 6 to 8. If we get 8, that'd be really nice. That'd be a good pick-me-up, just compared to what we've had to deal with in the past so far. Granted, we are waiting for a bunch of cards to come back from the PSA still. They still have 120 of our cards. The only reason why we haven't sent any more in isn't because we don't trust the PSA. It's simply because they're not accepting anymore right now. So we got our Gyarados GX. It's really hard for me to make a decision on these cards just because there's too much to look at in my opinion. Is that, oh, so that is water. I thought that water was like a dent, but it's water. It's meant to be there. Okay, that's good. Yeah, it looks super solid. I'd say 9 to 10. Be really surprised if we don't get that. At least a 9. And sure, this one is a newer card, but Gyarados is always just so sought out after that he could be worth money right off the bat, even with a 9. I mean, pretty much any card right off the bat, 10, even if it's the brand newest card, is worth a good amount of money. Now, this one I believe we pulled. We did. I'm sorry if it got darker. The lighting hasn't changed. I guess my camera decided to make things darker, and I can't seem to fix it, guys. Okay, well, just bear with me, I guess. This is a really nice pull. I don't see anything wrong with it. This should come back at 10. This was a fresh pull. Centering's slightly off. I wouldn't say it's majorly off. I am still going to say a 10 for this card. And really, guys, I've been having some issues and just crap with buying cards from previous owners, or at least people who claim to be previous owners. That could just be middlemen who are selling and buying and selling in large amounts, and it's really irking me not to buy from them anymore. Got Dragonite. This is a Roaring Skies Dragonite. Pretty good. Nothing wrong with it on the front at all. Back looks solid too. Don't see why this couldn't get a 10. It definitely make my day if both this Dragonite and that tag team Charizard Reshiram, I have no idea if I'm saying that last one right, come back 10s. That'd be awesome. Now this Hitmonlee, and I only did a quick look at it, is in surprisingly good condition. Is it is still, yeah, it's in really good condition for Hitmonlee. Yeah, it's got some scratches in the Hall of Foil, but granted, this is like a 20-plus-year-old card, so that's really fantastic. Some off-center, but nothing too much, as they're thick both on top and bottom. And the back is super solid. I don't see why this couldn't get an 8 to 9. You know, we'll just do a double number. We'll say 8 to 10. Really, I'm expecting it to come back. I would expect it to come back 9, but really, I know that it's a thick cut at the top, and I know the PSA is weird about that. So I'm expecting it to come back an 8 just based on what I know from the grading company. But really, I don't see why it couldn't come back a 9 or a 10. Oh, yeah, last one, guys. This is a Dragonite from Evolution, EX. Fairly good looking. Not seeing any issues at all. Centering looks fine. For me, it's hard to see the centering. I think it's a little bit thicker bottom than it is top. Looks fine on the back, even more so for centering. I guess there is some corner whiting. I'm gonna say 8 to 9. If it wasn't for that, I would say 9 to 10, or maybe even just straight 10. Really, it's a wonderful looking card. It's a neat looking Dragonite. So we said 8 to 9 for that. And we're gonna go ahead and freehand. We're not exactly done. We just want to let everyone know what's